Yo, what's going on? What's happening? So I don't know if you all are familiar with this story that happened in High Point a couple days ago, where a dude shot another dude over a turkey. Now, let me say this real quick. I know exactly where High Point is located. It's located in what they call a tri-borough area, which consists of cities such as Greensboro, Winston-Salem, and High Point. Now, High Point is not really known for anything. You know what I mean? I mean, Fantasia's from there, the R&B singers from there. You know, it's a furniture city. You know, they make furniture there. You know what I'm saying? There's really like no industries there. You know, a lot of people. When I used to live in Greensboro. You know what I'm saying? I stayed there for like 4 years, so I knew of people in High Point. You know, and a lot of people that lived in High Point, they either worked in Greensboro or they commuted from High Point to Charlotte, or from High Point in the other direction. From High Point to the Research Triangle Park area. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, there's really little to no jobs there. You know, the South is really made out of like temp jobs. And if you're not working on a temp job, and I'm talking about people that, you know, don't have little to no education, you know, if you're not working at a temp job, you're working at like these places like Labor Ready. And I'm not trying to knock it, because you got to do what you got to do. I mean, I even worked at Labor Ready. You know what I'm saying? And that place, they pay daily. You know what I'm saying? So if you go to work that day, at the end of the day, when you get back from the job site, they pay you, you know, however many hours you work that day. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, what I'm saying is, in that tri-borough area, there's little to no opportunities. You know, and don't get it twisted. I'm not making any excuse for this guy, you know, shooting someone over a turkey. I'm just telling you that there ain't really no money to be made there. You know what I mean? So, make the long story short, for those that don't know how the story went, a guy goes into Food Line grocery store. He wants to purchase a turkey. If I'm not mistaken, it's a sale that they have where if you spend $35 inside the grocery store, you can get the turkey for $4 and change. Now, he brings the turkey up there, and the cashier is telling him, yo, you can't buy the turkey for $4 and change. You have to spend $35 in order to get it for that. He gets into an argument with the cashier. Another person hears that argument, you know what I'm saying? And he comes over and he's protecting the female cashier and says to the guy that wants to get the turkey, you know what I'm saying, say whatever you got to say to me instead of her. So I get it, man. You know, it's more than likely this is in a black, you know what I'm saying, area. And, you know, the dude probably, you know, had that state of mind like, yo, man, this ain't even got nothing to do with you. This is none of your business. So they get into an altercation, fist fight or whatever. The guy that was trying to purchase the turkey, he's steadily, as he's fighting the other dude, you know what I'm saying, he's steadily trying to pull out his gun. So the dude says, oh, you trying to pull out guns. So I assume he goes to the car to get his, and this is in front of families. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, let's just be real. Thanksgiving is next week. So there's people in there trying to buy turkeys. I'm more than sure that they're getting with the deal. They trying to go to that grocery store to get the deal, the $35. You spend $35 and you get the turkey for $4 and change. You know what I'm saying? So there's kids there, there's mothers, you know what I'm saying? There's families there, and they're seeing this. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they go outside, and next thing you know, somebody gets shot. And this all stemmed from a goddamn jive-ass turkey. Straight up. But at the end of the day, did it really stem from a turkey? Like, to be real with you, I'm not sitting here trying to defend this man, because first and foremost, he was wrong for cursing out a cashier. A female that was just working, she was just doing her job. That's the first thing. Disrespecting a black female. That's the first thing. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I'm not trying to defend this guy, but just think about it. Because we, you know, oftentimes we look at the news and we are in agreement with the news, and the news will be quick. I seen the story. They're quick to be on some shit like, oh, two niggas fought, one another in the grocery store over turkey, and one got shot over the turkey. The end. But they don't never tell a backstory. Now, listen, I just explained to you in the very beginning that High Point is not a place where you're going to make a lot of money at. So more than likely, this dude is nickel and diming, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents and trying to, all of these sayings, trying to make ends meet. And he said, man, throughout all this year, I've been busting my ass. I'm just assuming. You know what I'm saying? Throughout all these years, I'm busting my ass. Man, the least thing I could do is sit down with my old lady and my kids and have a turkey. We may not be able to get the macaroni and cheese, the potato salad, the ingredients to make the potato salad, macaroni and cheese, the sweet potato pie, and all the rest of that shit. But the least thing I can do as a man is buy a turkey and be able to cut the first slice and hand it to my wife and hand the other slices over to my children. That's what he was probably thinking in the back of his mind. And then when the cashier said, yo, you can't get this for this price and that, blah, 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 you know, in front of everyone, I mean, the cashier's just doing her job. He probably was embarrassed because he knew that he only could afford what he thought, you know what I'm saying, the turkey cost, which was $4 and some change. Not that he had to spend $35 in order to get it for that price. So, of course, as usual, what do, you know, people do when they're embarrassed? They have to fight fire with fire. So he responded back. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't. But the thing of it is we so wrapped up in what he did, and the whole turkey and shooting and all the rest of that shit. And it's to the point where we don't even say to ourselves, who's really to blame? Like, are you living on another planet? You don't see what I see? There's companies and corporations that's laying people off. The price of food is skyrocketing. The price of gas, everything is going up. But we don't blame our government that's supposed to govern over us. We don't blame companies and corporations. We accept the fact that there's a thing called the food industry. And we never say, oh, you know what? Our government, these companies and corporations have failed us. No, we're constantly blaming one another. Nah, the government don't owe you shit, even though the money that the government has is ours, taxpayer money. These companies and corporations, they trying to make money. So they make excuses. We make excuses for these companies and corporations. It's just business. Well, see, what you need to do, you know, we're talking about regular people talking to regular people, is you need to work harder. Yeah, man, miss me with that bullshit. Real shit. You need to point the finger in the right direction and blame these companies and corporations and your government for an individual that felt as though that he had to shoot someone else over a goddamn turkey. And that's real shit. That's real shit. But what I really want to say is this. Ultimately, it is his fault. And I want to include myself in this situation. Let me tell you something, black man. We have two jobs to do when it comes to our family. That's to protect and provide. If you, let me come a little closer to the camera. If you have to depend on someone to feed you, then they control you. That's real shit. That's why I'm steadily saying we need to grow our own food. Because when you grow your own food, no one has control over you. Straight up. Like, where's the... I see the new South. We need to bring back the old South, where we knew of farmers if we didn't have a farm. This is the reason why, part of the reason why back in the days, the grocery stores were cheap, because they were in direct competition with the farmers. I mean, you think about it. If I can go get my onions and my eggs and my chickens and my cows and all the rest of that shit at a decent price, and I know the dude, he's my next door neighbor, he lived right down the street from me. He might even be my kinfolk. At a cheaper price than a grocery store, who you think I'ma fuck with? So this is the reason why the food industry or these companies and corporations had to take out the farmer. And any and everyone that was farming, it's okay for you to grow a little garden in the back of your damn house. You ain't feeding your family like that. But when you start having acres upon acres of land, something totally different. Beanie Siegel didn't make that shit up. The food industry made that shit up. Companies and corporations like Monsanto made that shit up. You either get down or lay down. And that's what they did to these farmers. Either you work for us or we put you out of business. That plain and simple. I'm going to say it again for those that didn't hear me the first time. If they feed you, they control you. Where are all my deep freezer people at? You know, the ones that hunt and keep, even if you may not hunt, you buy food and you keep your meats, your vegetables, and everything else that you eat inside a deep freezer. It's a break glass in case of emergency type shit. You know that deep freezer, it's like either you got it right by the refrigerator or you got it in your garage. You know that deep freezer that Big Mama would use as a countertop to put all her Chinaware and different things like that on it? But it was food in that shit. Where all my deep freezer people at? Straight up. This is what we get when we walked out of our world, our natural organic world, and walked into their synthetic, virtual, non-realistic societies where they can feed us any and everything. They got us paying for fucking genetically modified foods, clone foods, and now 3D printing foods. You know how many fucking videos I see on TikTok or YouTube or just overall social media, Instagram, Facebook, where motherfuckers is like, yo, I bought this avocado, you know what I'm saying, and it was organic, and I take it out of the packaging and I go to eat it and it's rubbery. It feels like a piece of rubber. Yeah, because they can feed you anything. And they know you're gonna buy it. Why? Because you can't even you don't even know how to put a fucking seed in the ground. And that's real shit. Oh man, there's some macaws. Oh man, can you see them? Nah, you can't see them. Man, beautiful birds, man. Beautiful birds. I'm gonna catch one day on camera. Normally when I go to the beach, I don't take my phone. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm recording. But on the way to the beach, man, it'd be like 6 or 7 of them in the tree, but they be so high up, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of difficult to record them. Let me get back to the subject. But yeah, man, if they can feed you, they control you. That's real shit. I mean, they're not even feeding us, well, you all, they're not even feeding y'all like real meat anymore. At least in the old South, you knew what you were getting. You can go to that farm and that farmer, and you could be like, yo, I want that cow right there. And he'll give it to you, and either the farmer will do it or the butcher will do it. They'll cut it up, gut it out, clean it, and all the rest of that shit. If it's a chicken, they'll defeather it and all the rest of that. Cut the head off and package that shit up. But those are the old days. And now we don't do shit like that. We don't hunt for our own food. We put down the rifles. And back in the days, the rifle had served the shotgun or just overall rifles, it served 2 purposes. One is to protect the family, and the second one was to hunt. Nobody hunts anymore. No one knows how to fish. I'm a vegetarian, and even I know how to fish. I know basic survival skills. But the average person, you know what I'm saying, that was born after, I say, after the late 70s don't know shit about fishing. I'm not saying all, I said average. I said if you was born after the mid, I'll take it a little further. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? If you were born after the mid 80s, you don't know nothing about fishing or hunting. Nobody taught you shit. Because the South ain't the South like it used to be. Straight up. I remember before I permanently moved in the South for good, I used to visit my grandmother every summer. And she would have all types of fruit sitting on the table. After we ate, you know what I'm saying, a real breakfast. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about bacon that was this thick. Because you didn't get it from the grocery store, you got it from the farmers. I'm talking about, well, sometimes it was oatmeal and then other times it was grits. I'm talking about grits that if you left them sitting on the table but for so long, them shits turn into cement. Straight up, you could build a house with those grits. That's how thick them shits were and hard they were if you let them shits out for a couple of minutes out on the table. I'm talking about eggs that were motherfucking this big. Real eggs. But she used to have honeydew melons, watermelons, you know, all types of melon, cantaloupe, seeded green grapes and red ones, bananas, strawberries. Not nowadays. All of the stuff that I just named, you get them over, you buy them overpriced when they in season. You take them home and you cut one open and it's fucked up in the inside. You take it back to get another one, as an example, a cantaloupe. You take it back to get another one and they give you another fucked up cantaloupe. But this is what you have to deal with when you have to depend on him. This is what the conscious community was trying to tell everyone a long time ago, to grow your own foods. Rely on self. Do for self. And you, specifically black people, didn't listen. Oh man, miss me with that. You know what I'm saying? Grocery stores are always going to be open and they always going to have food and this and that and so forth. But basically what you're telling me is you just want to totally be dependent on a man. You say that you a man, but you saying you want to totally depend on a man. Well, being dependent on another man doesn't make you a man. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, if that dude that shot the dude or got shot, you know what I'm saying, you know, all because of a turkey, if he knew how to hunt, he would have never got into that altercation. Ever. All he would have to do is just find a turkey. On grounds that it was legal for him, you know, to hunt. But that's all he would have to do. Shoot the turkey, take it home, defeather it, chop the neck off, you know, chop the head off, gut it out, and there you got your turkey. Non-GMO, straight up natural, organic. See, man, let me tell you something, man. All of this black power shit don't count for nothing. I'm going to be real with you. You can wear all of the dashikis, the ankhs, you know what I'm saying, and have an afro and dreads and shit like that. In my opinion, man, if you can't dig a hole and plant a seed with the dashiki, the ankh, and if you got dreads, pull them dreads back into a ponytail or something, so the dreads won't get in your way, so you can dig that hole up, you're not saying shit to me. It's all talk and no action. And that's real shit. That's real shit, man. You know, people, and it's no disrespect, people like Sinetta, man, they are a great example of, this is dedicated to the youth. They are a great example of how you shouldn't be when you get older. This man's still living in New York, still doing fucking videos with the Hebrew Israelites, or what? Let me just say, to be real with you, the Power Rangers, because that's just exactly how they look. Straight up. You know, I forgot that dude's name. He's on the tip of my tongue. I forgot the leader of the, what is it, ISUPK or some shit. He's all Tazariak. He's always doing videos with that dude. Like, man, what is you doing, Sinetta? I ain't never seen you motherfucking put a seed in the ground. We don't need to know nothing about no motherfucking religion. What we need to know is how to grow our own food so we can become more independent and less dependent on the man. That's real shit. Because let me tell you something. In 2025, if we knew how to hunt, grow our own food, fish, people that have homesteads ain't bitching and complaining online. They're not. People that have homesteads are saying, see, I told you so. That's real shit. So the moral of the story is, grow your own food. Become more independent, because it's not a matter if when his empire falls, if you're not prepared and ready, you're going to fall right along with it. Other than that, my name is Langston 2092. Out.